On our broadcast tonight, Jumpstart, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, says we need a new stimulus plan to help keep the economy afloat. So how much and who will get it? General election, how Colin Powell's endorsement of Barack Obama is playing on the trail as John McCain sharpens his tone. Plus, the man who just won't quit is back. Tip of the spear, NBC's Richard Engel with American forces in Afghanistan under fire in an unforgiving place. And a new twist, a passionate pursuit for millions already that's now appealing to a whole new audience. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. By now we know the staggering amounts of taxpayer money it's going to take to bail out some big banking firms that are stuck with billions of dollars in bad loans. Well, today we learned it will likely take more. Another package of money, not for Wall Street this time, but for Main Street, as they like to say, for businesses and to put people to work. This comes during what is still a financial crisis in this country and around the world. It continues to dominate the presidential campaign with 15 days to go now until we elect a new president. Wall Street did like this news today. The market ran up late today over 400 points. We will start off our coverage here tonight with NBC's Tom Costello in Washington for us.
The stimulus from the nation's chief banker today, a warning about the struggling economy and a call for more spending.
With the economy likely to be weak for several quarters and with some risk of a protracted slowdown, consideration of a fiscal package by the Congress at this juncture seems appropriate.
A fiscal stimulus package means even more government spending on top of the $700 billion financial rescue package. Congressional Democrats have been talking about a stimulus plan for weeks.
If you're going to have growth, you must have investment. And there is a need for us to do this now.
The Democrats' idea, tax breaks for the middle class, new infrastructure spending, bridges and roads, extending unemployment benefits, and health care for seniors and children. The proposed price tag, $150 billion. Fed Chairman Bernanke was asked today whether that would be enough.
What size should an economic recovery package be? $150 billion? $300 billion?
I cannot tell you as Congress what number you should pass. That's up to you.
What would you suggest?
Bernanke insists the money should be targeted to help consumers, home buyers, and businesses get credit. But with a budget deficit approaching $500 billion, some House Republicans oppose adding to the nation's debt.
Shoveling $300 billion out the door, bringing our deficit up to $1 trillion, will only serve to actually weaken the dollar, increase our borrowing costs, and not address the fundamental problems in our economy.
And today, more evidence of those fundamental problems, with GM struggling to come up with the financing to merge with Chrysler, while 22 states now report budget shortfalls totaling $11 billion. Meanwhile, the Treasury Secretary today urged the nation's smaller and mid-sized banks to consider taking government money, much as the 9 largest banks did last week.
To support the U.S. economy as we work through this difficult period.
After initially being cool to the idea of a stimulus plan, the White House today said it's now open to the idea. The question is, will Congress try to pass this after the new president is elected or wait until he is inaugurated? That could depend on who's president and also the state of the economy. Brian?
Tom Costello starting us off from Washington again tonight. Tom, thanks. Of course, the next president's going to have to start dealing with all of this even before taking office. John McCain, Barack Obama, both talked about the economy today. Now they're talking to voters who are already going to the polls. Early voting is underway in a lot of places, again, with 15 days to go in this campaign. Our report tonight from NBC's Andrea Mitchell.
Early voting started in Florida today and 6 other states. The lines are long, anticipation high. Some Obama voters even camped out last night.
We're kind of tailgating for change.
Barack Obama is spending 2 days urging Floridians to vote early.
You don't know what might happen on November 4th. Your car might break down. You might have an emergency.
In only the first few days since North Carolina started voting, more than 358,000 people have shown up, most registered Democrats.
Colorado, understanding that early voting begins today in this great state. Today.
The campaigns want to get their rock-solid voters out early so they can put all their energy into persuading undecided voters. On that, Obama has a huge advantage, money. $150 million raised in September alone.
Nothing is inevitable here. We never give up. We never quit.
Sunday, McCain's longtime friend Colin Powell endorsed Obama and criticized the choice of Sarah Palin.
I don't believe she's ready to be president of the United States, which is the job of the vice president.
Powell could boost Obama's foreign policy credentials. But today, the McCain camp seized on something Joe Biden said, that Obama would be tested in his first months in office.
Because they're going to want to test him, just like they did young John Kennedy. They're going to want to test him. And they're going to find out this guy's got steel in his spine.
We don't want a president who invites testing from the world at a time when our economy is in crisis.
An issue that has not had a big airing during this campaign will affect all our lives eventually, the strain on Medicare for those who depend on it now, for those who will someday, in our continuing series, Where They Stand. NBC's Mark Potter tonight looks at McCain and Obama on Medicare.
Thank you, Tampa.
As both candidates crisscross Florida looking for votes in this battleground state, a big concern for the many seniors and baby boomers soon facing retirement here is Medicare. Analysts say the $458 billion a year program could run out of money in 2019.
I don't have enough
At the Palace Senior Living community near Miami, residents worry about Medicare's future and rampant fraud.
I'm not happy with the way it's run.
Stop the corruption. Stop the corruption.
I fear it's in trouble. Yes, I do.
Both John McCain and Barack Obama say they'll try to fix Medicare. McCain says he would require wealthy seniors to pay higher premiums for Medicare prescriptions. Will focus on disease prevention and reform Medicare payment procedures to doctors.
What we have to do with Medicare is have a commission. Have the smartest people in America come together.
In the Senate,
Obama says he will reduce payments to private Medicare providers and allow Medicare to directly negotiate with drug companies for lower prices, a position McCain also supports.
Because the drug companies paid millions of dollars in lobbying and campaign contribution, they were able to write into the law that Medicare couldn't negotiate for the cheapest available price.
John McCain.
A recent Obama ad running in Florida and other states
$882 billion from Medicare alone.
accuses McCain of threatening to cut Medicare benefits. But McCain's advisors say that's not true, arguing any cuts in Medicare spending will only come from attacking waste and fraud. Despite its importance, though, neither candidate has made Medicare a campaign priority.
It's easier for them not to talk about something that is a train wreck ready to happen.
But these seniors say they want to hear more.
Medicare is the biggest thing we got going.
Before they vote. Mark Potter, NBC News, Miami.
We have gotten to know John McCain and Barack Obama quite well by now, though there is one face on the ballot 15 days from now that's been campaigning even longer than the two of them. In fact, there are some alive today who cannot remember a time when Ralph Nader was not running for president of the United States. Our report tonight from NBC's Ron Allen.
For Ralph Nader, a crowded church of 500 in Buffalo, New York is a welcome sight. He complains the media and his opponents ignore him. He admits most voters have no idea he's running.
Senator Obama, Senator McCain, do they have a comprehensive program to deal with this endemic poverty?
For Nader, now 74, it's his fifth White House bid. Some Democrats still accuse him of taking enough votes from Al Gore in 2000 to help President Bush win. This time, the veteran consumer and workers advocate tries to rally voters against the Wall Street bailout as another example of how big companies have too much power.
The Nader-Gonzalez campaign has been in a vanguard for many years to hold corporations accountable to their workers.
His running mate is Matt Gonzalez, attorney and former San Francisco lawmaker. They are at 3% in the polls, on the ballot in 45 states. Why do you keep pursuing this?
As long as I can go around the country putting a progressive agenda on the front table, I feel I have to do it.
Do you think that perhaps you're not the best messenger for your own cause now?
I am nationally known. I have a track record. I have constituencies around the country.
He dismisses Barack Obama and John McCain as corporate candidates, a choice between the least of the worst. What would have to happen for you to not do this?
Well, that they take the populist positions that we have on our website, votenader.org.
Nader is realistic.
So I'm not afraid to keep losing and losing as long as we're expanding awareness.
For him, to some extent, winning is getting a chance to be heard. Ron Allen, NBC News, Buffalo, New York.
When we continue here tonight, later in the broadcast, more of Sarah Palin's entertainment television debut this weekend. And next up, our report from the front lines in Afghanistan. NBC's Richard Engel with Viper Company.
Health food doesn't have to be boring. You just have to pick the right flavors. There's vanilla, ginger, nutmeg, there's cinnamon. My job at Kashi is to take the best natural flavors and put them together in tasty ways. With all the choices found in nature, boring is pretty much impossible.
Kashi, 7 whole grains on a mission.
Thermacare wants to know, where does it hurt? My knees. Target the pain with Thermacare heat wraps. Thermacare delivers real heat that penetrates deep to relax tight muscles all day. Nice. Try Thermacare heat wraps and wear it where it hurts.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. So tell me before planning surgery. And always talk to me before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. If you develop fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion, tell me promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke beyond your other heart medicines alone. You may be feeling better, but your risk never goes away. Help stay protected. Stay with Plavix.
We are back with NBC News In Depth, and we have an important piece of reporting to show you tonight. It's about young Americans a long way from home who are fighting in one of this nation's dual wars. They're under fire, and they fire back every day. Tonight, we take you to a passage in eastern Afghanistan that has become an al-Qaeda and Taliban stronghold. It's called the Korengal Valley, temporary home to Bravo Company, 126th Infantry. They prefer the more rugged name of Viper Company. And our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, reports from what is the tip of the spear.
The 150 soldiers of Viper Company call it the Valley of Death. 6 miles long, 5 miles wide, 5,000 feet high. The only way to patrol the Korengal Valley is on foot. Exhausting daily marches on narrow goat trails and through villages that have fiercely opposed outsiders for centuries. The Korengal is Afghanistan's deadliest Taliban and al-Qaeda safe haven. In just 3 months, 6 of Viper's soldiers have been killed here, 18 injured. At the tip of the spear is Restrepo, one of Viper Company's 5 mountaintop outposts. Isolated and manned by just 20 soldiers, Restrepo is attacked almost every day. The Taliban open fire from just a few hundred yards away.
Get down!
But Private Jordan Taylor's gun keeps jamming.
240's down.
The machine guns aren't working either.
Another weapon up here, Tower 1. Watch out!
For the second time in less than 24 hours, this outpost has come under attack. Some of the incoming rounds were so close, we could hear the crack ahead. Now they're putting out suppressive fire to try and push back the attackers. They've also called in mortar fire.
Left 100, drop 5054, effect over.
The mortar teams fire wherever they think the Taliban might be. Viper Company has fired more than 3,000 mortars in 3 months. But they rarely see the enemy. There's too much cover, too many trees. After about 15 minutes, this attack at Restrepo is over.
Hold your fire.
The soldiers spend the rest of the day cleaning and repairing their weapons, so they won't jam again. If the weapons fail, Restrepo could be overrun.
All right. March.
They know they're stretched thin.
As far as worrying about being overrun, really, you just focus on what we can do to make sure it doesn't happen.
To try to relax, they play endless games of spades and lift weights. Mealtimes are also small diversions, but they only have Army rations.
Chili, chili, chili.
To break the monotony, they experiment with odd combinations, like Richardson's tuna fish, mayonnaise, and jelly sandwich. To keep the men hydrated, the medic gives them saline IVs. But the conditions are filthy. There's no shower, just one outhouse. Laundry hangs everywhere. Not surprisingly, Restrepo is infested with fleas. Private Matt Fowler from Nampa, Idaho, has bites up and down his legs. Like many here, Fowler wears a flea collar around his belt loop. He's on his first combat tour. So is 3/4 of Viper Company.
Getting the guys next to me home. That's all that matters.
They are constantly tested with harassing attacks, day and night.
Boy! Get your saws up here! Boy!
It's chaos. They head outside Restrepo to search for the attackers, but it's hard to move undetected under a full moon, and the ground is covered in leaves and loose shale. They didn't find the Taliban, but they expect more attacks will be coming. Richard Engel, NBC News, Korengal.
Terrific reporting, and tomorrow night here on the broadcast, Richard is with Viper Company when things take a tragic turn. We learned today Bob Nett has died. He was a veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. But it was his actions in the Philippines back in 1944 in hand-to-hand combat that almost killed him that made him a recipient of the Medal of Honor. He was wounded 3 times and kept fighting despite the blood loss. He killed 7 enemy soldiers in 1 combat action. He served 33 years in the U.S. Army. Robert Nett was 86 years old, and his death now leaves just 99 living recipients of the Medal of Honor. There were over 400 of them alive just a few decades ago. This is the lowest number since the U.S. Civil War. We're back in a moment with a televised highlight of this presidential campaign so far.
Arthritis doesn't know when to quit. It shows up early and stays late. Tylenol Arthritis works with your body to block pain fast, with 1 layer that dissolves quickly and another that gives you time-released relief all day. So you not only feel better, you feel better knowing Tylenol works as hard as your arthritis.
Do you own an oil company? Well, if you have mutual funds or a pension or other investments, chances are you do. Learn more. Visit energytomorrow.org.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. All internet providers take you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? Net Zero is only $9.95 a month, and we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Mr. Obama, I am not President Bush. True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
Flu season is coming. At CVS Pharmacy and Minute Clinic, we want to help you stay healthy.
So we're making it simple to get a flu shot. It's quick and easy. You can get a flu shot in one of our pharmacies or Minute Clinic locations.
To find the most convenient location, call 1-888-FLU-SHOT or go to CVS.com.
If you have any questions about flu prevention or treatment, speak to me.
Or your local CVS pharmacist. CVS Pharmacy.
For all the ways you care.
It's endless shrimp at Red Lobster.
Indulge in endless choices of your favorite shrimp, including new shrimp in a spicy Cajun butter sauce. It's endless shrimp, our best value of the year, now at Red Lobster.
Where on earth could we ever find enough oil and natural gas to power more than 60 million cars and heat 160 million households for 60 years? Right here in America. Log on to learn more.
Earlier tonight, we showed you part of Sarah Palin's appearance on SNL this weekend, the first of two she made on the show, which, by the way, was the highest rated in years. In the second sketch, during Weekend Update, the premise was a rap song she was supposed to perform, which was instead performed by SNL veteran and the very pregnant Amy Poehler, Seth Meyers, Sarah Palin, and a supporting cast of mooses and others from this past Saturday night on SNL, which for obvious reason is enjoying its best season in a long time. You may remember the name Mr. Blackwell. He was a clothing designer whose claim to fame was his annual worst-dressed list of celebrities. We learned today he has died in California. He took no prisoners when pointing out what he called fashion felonies. His victims included Madonna, Barbra Streisand, Queen of England, Lady Diana, Martha Stewart, even Carol Burnett. That doesn't seem fair. He was more successful as a critic than he ever was a designer. He admitted to being publicly mean despite admiring most of the women he skewered. Richard Blackwell was 86 years old. When Nightly News continues here in just a moment, a whole new generation learning an ancient art to help the body help itself in a modern way.
When you're on treatment for rheumatoid arthritis, everyday things can still be tough to handle. Can you open this? Pull this? Grasp this? Oh, yes, I can. What about you? If you think your treatment isn't helping enough, ask your rheumatologist about Orencia. It's an RA treatment that's proven to make a difference for many patients, including those who weren't helped enough by other treatments, relieving the symptoms of RA and controlling the advance of joint damage.
Do not take Orencia with another biologic medicine for RA due to an increased risk of serious infection. Orencia can cause serious side effects, including serious infections. Certain cancers have been reported. Tell your doctor if you are prone to or have any infection like an open sore or the flu. If you have a history of COPD, a chronic lung disease, Orencia may worsen your COPD.
Tell your doctor about the challenges you face every day with RA. Ask about Orencia and see if you could be saying, oh, yes, I can.
Creamy, smooth, flavorful. The name's Silk. Smooth as. And it is.
Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, and omega-3s, plus all the calcium and vitamins A and D of milk. Silk. Take a step forward.
Robitussin knows one of the reasons we cough is to help clear away mucus. Robitussin DM Max has a double dose of the medicine that helps clear mucus while also controlling your cough. Robitussin DM Max. Double the strength against mucus for a reason.
I have high blood pressure, and I was surprised to learn that it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. That's what my doctor told me about Levitra.
Certain medical conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, can decrease blood flow, which may lead to ED.
That was news to me. And my doctor told me Levitra could help.
Levitra works by increasing blood flow to help treat ED.
Levitra works for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems, are on alpha blocker therapy, or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss of vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away. Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
This is a KTW News Channel 8 update.
Next, the climber who survived a 300-foot fall on Mount Hood, what he remembers about his rescue. And gas under $3, the trend that has some drivers changing their habits.
And temperatures over 70. We've got one more shot on Mount Tofino. When we dry out, all the news and weather at 6.
Those who may have once dismissed yoga as new age from all groups are doing it and benefiting from it. And while it may not be for all of us, some have found for them it stops the clock. Slows it down a bit in a way that makes it hard to pass up. Our report from NBC's Carrie Sanders.
70-year-old Marsha Mendelson once lived the high-pressure life of a computer industry executive.
I was spinning around the world in nanoseconds, going to the office, finishing a meeting, going home, packing up, getting on a plane, going to London, going to Paris.
Then, 16 years ago, at 54,
I had chronic back pain.
she learned it all came at a price.
People get stiffer with age. Don't you notice it? I used to wake up in the morning and get out of bed and not feel so great. I jump out of bed now like I'm 19 years old. It's all because of yoga.
Yoga,
Downward-facing dog.
a mind-body exercise that began in India some 5,000 years ago.
You want to gently fold forward?
Once something for the granola and sandals set, studies show it's now gone mainstream. 16 million Americans regularly practice yoga,
Come into Warrior 2.
and almost 1 in 5 is over the age of 55.
Medical researchers have tried to pin down what it is yoga actually does to improve health. Even though it's ancient, peer-reviewed studies by Western doctors are limited, but they show yoga helps reduce stress, improve strength, flexibility, and balance, all critically important to aging bodies.
It's why in recent years, folks in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s have given it a try. Dr. Tim McCall.
Can it reverse every change of aging? No. Can it prevent you from ever dying? No. Can it cure every disease? No. But can it make you feel better, live longer, live more vitally? Absolutely it can.
Reach for the stars.
And Marshall Mendelson says she's proof it's never too late to stretch one's boundaries.
And surrender a little more.
Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Aventura, Florida.
And that's our broadcast for this Monday night. Thank you, as always, for being with us. I'm Brian Williams. We hope to see you back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
A long way down. A man climbing Mount Hood falls 300 feet, badly injuring his face. He spoke to News Channel 8 from the hospital. Just in time. Nearly 2 weeks after a home slid down a hillside, the city steps in.
Pretty much most of the hillside covered with heavy plastic.
To see what's being done to keep the rain from doing further damage. And winds of change.
We're beginning to build that body of evidence that there are some areas that might work and there are some areas that would be totally unacceptable.
There's talk about harnessing those powerful gusts at the coast to generate electricity. That idea isn't catching on with fishermen.
We're not going to be able to work near it.
A fight over the future in Tillamook.
From the KGW HD studios, where the news comes first. News Channel 8 at 6 starts now.
Hello, I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Tracy Berry. First at 6, banged up and swollen. A mountain climber shares his story of survival following a death-defying fall on Mount Hood. Tonight, what he remembers about the ordeal and the helicopter that plucked him from harm's way just before nightfall. News Channel 8's Mike Benner is live at OHSU where that climber is recovering tonight, Mike.
Well, Tracy, believe it or not, Chris Biddle is expected to be released from OHSU later this evening, so he is doing very well considering what he's been through. In fact, I talked to a couple of the volunteers who rescued him off Mount Hood, and they say he is lucky to be here.
I was scared.
By the looks of it, 39-year-old Chris Biddle is in extreme pain. But if you ask him, it's not nearly as horrific as it looks.
I still can't quite wrap my lips around a straw, but
Stein Oil Company, fueling for businesses in Clackamas, Oregon City, Milwaukee, and Tualatin.
The Oregon Community Foundation, working with people like you to improve life in Oregon, helping to create charitable funds for the causes you care about. Online at ocf1.org.